Goldberg family Elimination Chamber, the latest pay-per-view from WWE from Jeddah, from Saudi Arabia. We're going to be talking about everything that happened in this show. Finally, we're champion. Everybody knew already. Everybody talk about this in the dirt sheets. No big surprises here. No Cody Rhodes yet, so like a lot of some matches were okay, but like overall I feel that like at least for me, for my personal taste, the Elimination Chamber, all like the aura or at least like the importance that it had, everything in WWE is like already like the fact that you already know it is boring. And it's because you know it and it happens as the way that they told you. So it's really boring. But let's hear it from Jean-Paul. How you doing?
Yeah, I mean, I'm doing good, thank you. And the one thing is, I gotta agree with you that the matches that were supposed to be special, supposed to be important, they really didn't feel it. I would say the Elimination Chamber match, even the women's, I enjoyed more than the men's, just because of the booking of the men's was awful.
Yes.
But, I mean, the championship matches, I mean, what was the best championship match? Probably Lita and Becky Lynch.
Oh, Lita and Becky Lynch.
And that's not an insult to them. I feel like they stole the show. Lita put on a good show here.
Yes.
But no, I mean, it was just a really weird pay-per-view. And they're always weird in Saudi Arabia just because people always have the stigma and stuff. But, we're going to go through it and cover every match. But yeah, it just, nothing. WrestleMania, will that even feel the same anymore? I guess we gotta
I don't know. Like you said, there's the dirt sheets. There's all like everything. If everything that like we already told doesn't change, is like we knew that like the champion versus champion like since like the Royal Rumble. We've been hearing talks about it. They don't change it. They just find ways to go through the same end. So this one it was terrible. We were all waiting for like a very competitive, very like interesting, very enjoyable Elimination Chamber. It happened in 5 minutes. Brock Lesnar just sweeps. But like before we do that, let's go throughout the whole thing. And thank you so very much to every single one of you for watching, for subscribing, for supporting us. So we were gonna keep doing this, and for every single one of you. Let's start Paul with like Goldberg with Roman Reigns. Did you think that like the title was gonna change hands? Roman Reigns is not the Fiend. First and foremost, so that's why this didn't change hands at all. Yeah, a pretty good showing from Goldberg about this Roman now. Roman is the one that carries. Roman is the guy that like is gonna like make sure that the match goes according to what they they talk about. And in the end, Roman Reigns, see a few spears and all of that.
That's how we felt, halfway through the show.
You tell me, how did you feel about it?
No, I mean, again, predictable. That's the one thing we could really kind of coin this whole show as is predictable.
Yes.
Because, all the matches, there's no surprise outcomes, nothing, oh my God, this is crazy. And this match, nobody expected Goldberg to win, and he didn't win. I mean, Roman, he got a bunch of offense, and then Goldberg would counter with a big spear. Oh my God, is Goldberg going to win? No, he sets up for the jackhammer at the end, but that's when Roman locks in the guillotine, chokes him out, and the ref, at least they did the right thing. They let it go for a while. He lifted up the arm. It was like a limp noodle, and he's like, okay, ring the bell. So, Roman, he always likes to go on first, even though Mysterio and Miz went on the pre-show. But what do I say? The pre-show is, the pre-show.
Well, we're going to just mention it, right now that you're touching on that. But like before we do that, like you said, it was going to be quick. Goldberg, the gas tank is what? Like this little? There's not a lot.
I think his main thing is he's just going to be at these Saudi Arabia shows until he can't do it anymore. Because you see the crowd is he's still really over.
Yes,
with the
exactly.
Saudi Arabia crowd.
Exactly, and like at least, for example, it's not dangerous as the match with the Undertaker. It's not as like sad. It's not as like painful.
They won't put him in there with. They'll put him in there with guys who can work, who are still strong,
or like still young, that I can actually help out in like certain spots of the matches that like is going to be like difficult for him to do stuff. But there you go. And like even he said in his prime, it would have been a different game. But like in his prime, not like 20 years after the fact. So there you go. That's what we have. Roman Reigns is going to WrestleMania as the Universal Champion. So Paul, tell me a little bit about at least something that was very enjoyable, and that was the Women's Elimination Chamber match. Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, Liv Morgan, Doudrop or Piper Niven, Alexa Bliss right there, the one missing, and Nikki ASH. I like this because all these girls are lead to me. Minus Nikki, kind of all have a chance. And remember, like last week, this on Monday Night Raw, Rhea Ripley was like the guy that pretty much outlived all of them. So it was cool. I enjoyed this. For me, this was like really, really good. Alexa Bliss returning, and seems like he's going to return to like her previous like character or gimmick. So there you go. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean the match. To me, the stars who were going to win it. And I'm thinking, okay, this is to face Becky Lynch. I mean, you had the rematch here with Bianca Belair. She was wrong. You know, she was just, you know, blindsided at SummerSlam, kind of, or low blow, cheated, whatever you want to call it. Rhea Ripley, to me, is the biggest star. She is the biggest future. So if you want to do that match, I mean, Liv Morgan, you know, we see the picture here. Britney Spears, you know, throwback look. You know, we love it. What did you think? Both chamber matches, it wasn't the last two people to come out started the match.
Yeah.
That was weird. It was like the third last person started the match. Then the second last person, you know, they actually are. It was the third and fourth person started the match, and then the fifth person was the last person in the pod. It was like really weird, the order. So it was actually Nikki Ash and Liv Morgan that started. And as soon as, you know, Rhea came out, I mean, Rhea got the pin on, and
Nikki ASH, you know, you got to see that. And also, like, for example, you see Liv Morgan eliminated the Piper Niven or Doudrop. Good for Liv, but like Liv is like one ahead and then two back.
Yeah,
because then Alexa Bliss came out.
I mean, and the Alexa Bliss to me was the dark horse because they already did Liv, and unfortunately, even though we like her and she's super popular, she's not getting the match at WrestleMania. It was either those two women standing right now, Rhea or Bianca or Alexa Bliss. Those were the only ones that were going to get it, and I really thought it was going to be Alexa. You know, Alexa, she gets the pin there over Liv, and didn't she? She was the one, or she actually helped set up the pin that then Bianca.
Yes,
she hit the KOD on Rhea Ripley, and then Alexa and Bianca had a little back and forth. And I really thought, and I mean, I'm sorry, and this is no offense against Alexa Bliss, but how shitty is her finisher? That Twisted Bliss, I mean, that is so bad.
Well, I mean, she's never been, you know, a wrestler that has, like, you know, a powerful move.
I'd rather
see her. The DDT was already, like, kind of like, you know, he's a finisher.
Just do the Fiend don't work there anymore. Just do his finisher. Just do the Sister Abigail.
Yeah, that should be, exactly.
That's at least looks, you know, that it hurts people. But no, you know, we're going to see the rematch from when she was cheated at, what was that, SummerSlam?
Yep, SummerSlam, yep. We're going to see that match. We're going to see this, Jean Paul. There you go. Yeah, we're going to see this in the two-night event. And
I just want to ask you, like, if you were booking this, who would you have picked to win out of all these women?
Out of all of them, probably, if they win it, I would have gone
WrestleMania. For a WrestleMania.
I would go Liv. And you know why? Because I believe that, like, we need newer stars. Everybody loves Liv Morgan. The story that you're telling with Liv Morgan is so much better. You know, like, she started out with the Ruby, you know, with the Riot Squad, and then she has improved so much. All her friends are gone. You know, she has a chip on her shoulder. It was so much better. I mean, Bianca Belair already was champion. Becky Lynch has been champion. Give me somebody else. You know, that's creating.
I really think they messed it up with what we're going to talk about a little later. Ronda Rousey. You know, she shouldn't be involved in this. It should be the Liv Morgans and them. I actually like this with Bianca because you're telling that long-term story from SummerSlam and everything. But I mean, this was good, and I feel like besides, you know, the other women's match, you know, this is where the show kind of starts to fall off the rails.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. This is, like, at least the only good part of the show because we're going to go with, like you said, a tag team match, Ronda Rousey with Naomi against Charlotte and Sonya Deville. This was just terrible. Why? Because they just need Ronda Rousey, like, to just show up in any kind of, like, main event, big event, like, thing. That's why they pay hard money for that or big dollars because the match already in WrestleMania is already set up. So what's really the point of this?
And the problem with this whole thing is, I mean, the match, you know, Ronda said, I can beat you with one arm. So she handicapped herself. And she pretty much, you know, we don't got to go through the match. Obviously, the babyfaces won. She got Sonya Deville in the arm bar and submitted Sonya Deville with one arm. So she won and obviously staring down Charlotte while she was doing it. And the thing is Ronda she's a badass, but then you see her smiling and she's all, you know what, everything's legit. And how can you know, that's not the person we want to cheer. We want to cheer her being a badass. So they book Ronda in such a counterproductive way that it's hard to even get, like, behind her.
And you know what?
I don't know if you feel the same way, but that's just kind of
the problem with me is, like, why Charlotte this year? You know, this should be Becky Lynch. That's when, like, you get the big money because the feud originally, you know, everything started. Becky Lynch.
Becky Lynch was the one who pinned her.
Yes, you know, remember like when that, like, a kind of, like, very controversial decision, like, with the referee at WrestleMania, you know, 2019. That's when, like, this should have been Becky Lynch. Why are they doing Charlotte? And the reports claims that, like, they're going to do Becky Lynch in the next year. Should have been just the inverted way. Change the roles, because like at least you have a whole year to tell me a better story. Hey, remember what happens on the Survivor Series 2018, and what happened over here? Now we can actually have the match. But here, I'm not interested because Charlotte has a lot of heat. I don't want to see Charlotte, like the opportunities and everything. SmackDown, the women's division is so bad. Even Toni Storm left. All of those things. So Sasha should have been maybe with Charlotte. That would have been a lot much better. And then Becky Lynch with Ronda Rousey. Or for me at least, Liv Morgan. Something different. WrestleMania should be not just a time that already have name value.
And I mean, this is just me, and maybe people say, no, you're stupid. Ronda Rousey's way better because she sells more tickets, and maybe you're right. But I think people buy tickets regardless. I don't know if she's ready, but Asuka. And then let's say, Asuka winning the Royal Rumble twice would have been stupid. Well, maybe it would be, but is Ronda winning it any better? And also, then you can get the same rematch. Charlotte can say, "Didn't we do this before when you won the Royal Rumble and came after me, and then you lost, and now maybe Charlotte will put her over." And isn't that really cool? Or I don't know, just do the Rhea Ripley match again. I don't know, do something. But Ronda, it just feels so forced. It should be.
And you know that she's gonna win it. You know she's not going to lose. You know she's going to become the newest SmackDown Women's Champion. And we're already saying it, 6 weeks before WrestleMania takes place. So there you go. So the fact that you can predict it is not good for business. Because this should be like the fact that I'm always trying to predict it. Or maybe I just give you something that everybody thinks is going to happen and you give me something else. But again, if Charlotte retains, is anybody going to be happy? So, like, both outcomes, you're not going to be happy at all. And it's like this. Drew McIntyre. Look what Drew McIntyre has become. The booking,
the booking of this is evident. As you watch this match, you already go, well, Drew McIntyre, unfortunately, is probably going to just go against Baron Corbin at WrestleMania. That's going to be the match. And, I mean, did you see the bump where he threw Madcap Moss? And
Alabama Slam.
I mean, absolutely done. And
that was terrible. Poor Moss. Yeah.
I mean, I don't like Moss at all. He is get off my TV heat. As I'm watching this, I see if you wear suspenders and laugh like a moron, and you're willing to degrade yourself, you'll have a job here. But a lot of these people, they don't want to degrade themselves. They have some self-respect, and that's why they got released.
Exactly.
And, but I mean, I don't want to see him get released on his head. I don't want to say.
No, I don't know exactly. We don't wish anybody their performance. They do whatever they do what we love.
Hopefully,
and you see Baron Corbin also go ahead.
But I mean, I was just gonna say, I mean, he's not a bad wrestler. I wish he was just a better gimmick. And same with Corbin. Corbin's good. We always say in the ring he's legit, but I mean, he has the stupidest gimmicks, and they make him do the stupidest shit.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I can't wait till this guy leaves and can just shoot on this company like nobody. But he
and
won't.
Paul, for example, why is the sword needed?
What did you think of that when he did the Claymore kick with the sword? I thought
with the sword, let's say he misses,
and I don't care, whatever. But because nobody who is gonna see this that's gonna report me anyway. But isn't it funny in the country where they behead people and kill people? He has the sword when he's doing. I'm like, come on, dude.
And that's what I mean, and they didn't even think about that.
Come on, dude.
There's not a second. That especially Drew McIntyre, his gimmick or his character, whatever, his persona is, shouldn't be based on the use of a freaking sword. It should be a Claymore. It should be he was a believable WWE champion.
The Claymore is a giant sword, so I get it, but it was just funny. And it's also
and like you said, the fact that he waved it at him, and he had to of course dodge it, but oh my god, it is just terrible. Poor Drew, and like you said, he's gonna go against Baron Corbin. Everybody was thinking remember what they were saying, Lesnar against Lashley for WrestleMania, and then Reigns against also McIntyre. That would have been so much better. They didn't do that. Of course, we're gonna see the same. The same main event for the third time. It's come on, WWE. I mean, I guess it's WrestleMania, but is that the only match that you have for me? You just give me something else. Yeah. But like you said, let's stop it for a second, Paul. The Miz and Rey Mysterio said that was the pre-show. The Miz lost to the Rey Mysterio. He countered the skull crushing finale. Dominic was kicked out of mid-match, but then he came back to just help his dad. They did a double 619, so they're gonna have a tag match now. The Miz said that he's going to actually find himself a partner. I think he can
because there's no John Morrison.
No, John Morrison, what? It's probably AEW or Impact.
Yeah. Done.
So like that's why like he's gonna find himself a partner. We'll see what happens. But this was just the pre-show, and I mean for good for Rey Mysterio. I think that there's a lot of buzz for him because it's gonna get a big role in what is gonna be in WWE 2K22, and also like he's like actually the cover of the game. So there you go. So that's important. I think that's why they give him the win. Maybe and they know that like he's gonna retire soon. That's why they're trying to do those things for him. Paul is telling me about like the best match of the night, and that's Becky Lynch against Lita for the Raw Women's Championship. This was just really good. Lita still can go. She's been preparing a lot. I saw videos of her workouts. She was really ready for this. They said that like she originally was supposed to face Charlotte, but along the lines they changed it. Now she's going against Becky Lynch, and I think the match turned out to be really, really good.
Yeah, because obviously that's what the feud was setting up. Right before before Rope breakthrough SmackDown to the curb, they were kind of setting that up with Lita, and we thought, okay, Ronda's going to come back. We knew the rumors. Ronda, Becky Lynch, it makes sense, and we just touched on that previously in the video here. So, that's what we thought they were going to do, and. No, Lita. I mean, Lita. We didn't mention her before, but I would have loved to see Lita had a run to WrestleMania and even win the belt again. I mean, what the hell? There's talks of Stone Cold coming back, and obviously, you're gonna hear it here first. If Stone Cold does come back against Kevin Owens, that's the person who Rock will come back for, not Roman Reigns. He'll come back for Stone Cold one more time.
Yeah,
so you heard it here first. But
it's also like there was the tweet that he he said to somebody on Twitter. He said like he wanted like all the millions and millions, and he says, "Don't worry, it's coming back." And they said there's going to be a big surprise, and it's not the Undertaker because the Undertaker is going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. But like you said, Lita deserves an opportunity for the championship, meaning like win it. Like maybe the SmackDown if it's not going to be this one.
But besides fantasy booking, to touch on this, I mean, in the beginning it was a little bit okay, but once they really started going, and this was great. Like you said, Lita, she proved she can hang. Becky Lynch is fantastic, selling for Lita. You really believed that some of these kickouts, Becky Lynch, it was like she was like a lifeless body. You thought, oh my God, they really sold it on Lita was going to win this. But unfortunately, she gets caught. Big manhandle slam, 1, 2, 3.
That was to me lame, Paul. That was really lame.
The ending was flat. I mean, I feel like a lot of these matches, and we're running through them quick, but if you go back and watch, they were actually all pretty quick.
Yes.
A lot of these, none of these, even the chamber matches, men's and the women's, they didn't take very long. Not like some years.
And it's because, like you said, like for example, I feel like the superstars also need to come back right away to to the United States. And I'm not saying they don't want to be there.
I bet at this point, Roman's plane was already in the air.
Yeah, already, because like I said, like you said, it's like I think it's good that they do the shows, but it's like okay, we want to get out right away because of what happened years ago.
I don't think it's good. I don't. You can quote me. I don't think it's good. They do.
Oh no, I'm telling you, I'm saying like they think it's okay, it's good. Okay, let's go. It's done. Kind of like that. It's like let's move on because hey, they want to be also. They have Monday Night Raw, like the Raw superstars, and also like you said, it's just to show that like
these wrestlers will play face, on social media, but in their head, they're not going to kill themselves for these fans. They'd rather kill themselves for us over here.
Yeah, no, and it's true because it's like they are writing history. We got to mention that because this is like the first event in Saudi Arabia that they had like 3 women's matches. So like they're still increasing the situation now because they had in the first one there was Natalia and Lacey Evans. That was the first one.
Yeah,
they've been increasing them.
The only thing affected by this, by like being in Saudi Arabia for the women, was just their attire. Other than that, nothing was affected. These 3 matches on the show is pretty normal, so this was
but if you think about it in the context of Saudi Arabia, Paul, like they've been increasing because remember Natalia and Lacey was the first one, then we had Bailey, and now we have like 3 in the car. So like they actually been more inclusive. At least,
At this point, besides the attire, you wouldn't even know it was in a country like that.
It's true. Yeah, it's not like historically, but at least it's worth mentioning that at least Lita was there. The crowd loved Lita. Like there was she had a moment where she was thinking.
Yeah, I like that they gave her the ovation.
They gave the ovation, so like they all know. And like Michael Cole was said in commentary, he said like she is the reason why And then we gotta say because when he says something that is true, at least we're not gonna shit on him all the time. But like he said, she's the reason why. Women wrestle all around the world, and is this true? Without Lita, things would be so much different. But this match was supposed to be for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. That didn't even take place because. Thank God. And like you said, nobody wanted to see it, and everybody wanted to.
Yeah, and I think they knew that. They were like, you know what, the people of Saudi Arabia, they don't know who the hell the Viking Raiders are. They might know who the Usos are because they hang around with Roman Reigns. But other than that, they don't know who the hell these guys are. They don't care. Boom, 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 a beatdown. They're gonna book this match for SmackDown or something, and it was over just as quick as it started. Thank you. Somebody with a brain decided to finally take over.
Yeah, you're right, absolutely, Paul. So let's go right away to like the main event then, the Elimination Chamber match, because this was on paper. Don't you think that like everybody outside of Austin Theory, and not shitting on Austin Theory because he's the future. WWE knows that they have a lot of money invested in this guy. I mean, they know that they can make this guy, like the top superstar. But like aside of all of them, all big names, great names.
Yeah, there was a lot of stuff.
Lesnar, Rollins, Riddle.
There was a lot of stuff.
But it wasn't that the way that they booked it. It was absolutely shit.
Yeah, there was a lot of stuff I wanted to see in this match. I mean, Austin Theory, like you said, he's the young star, and to me, he kind of sticks out in this just because his bullshit thing going on with Vince, and his feuds were with Kevin Owens and Finn Balor. I thought nobody really here, so maybe Lesnar now the last couple weeks, but I mean, Rollins has a lot of history with Lesnar, so he has history with Theory, so that was at least a decent matchup to start it. And then, I mean, Lashley going against Lesnar is always good. Lashley going against Riddle is good. Lashley against now babyface AJ is good. And I mean, to me, AJ was a dark horse to win it because they just turned him babyface, and there's reports that he's gonna get a big push now. He's away from Omos and he's a babyface now, and
the big thing with that Paul is like AJ's killing to fight Edge, killing. He wants Edge no matter what. He wants Edge at WrestleMania. So maybe they give it to him.
Yeah,
maybe.
So I'm like thinking, okay, maybe after that they're gonna do a big push. So I'm thinking, okay. But as soon as Lashley takes this bump and he sells it like a sniper shot to the head, I mean, he sold it like he was completely done. I thought, oh, here we go. This is gonna be a bullshit angle, and somebody's pod was opening. And then it was Matt Riddle. So, okay, because I thought, they're just going to pin Lashley right away. And then, he's out. And I'm like, that's such a stupid thing to do. But essentially, long story short, they took him out for concussion protocol. So he wasn't coming back in. So
and he's always the work. We got to say it. That is the work.
Obviously, because it barely hit him. He threw himself into the back corner. I mean, it was all a work. So
yes, exactly.
This was a way to protect him, from.
So like you said, they didn't want to knock him out. They didn't want him to lose to Brock Lesnar. Period.
So you see all four guys in here. I mean, great, fantastic athletes. Riddle, Rollins, AJ, Theory. Lesnar. Oh, it's his turn. Nope, it's actually Lashley's pod who's supposed to open instead of Lesnar's. He gets pissed. Screw that. He kicks in his pod. So okay, we see two pods break in one match. Can we get better pods next time so they don't break anymore?
Yes.
Now you beat that gimmick to death. So
and also for me, for example, like if it, like in this moment, right? For example, like Brock, it was supposed to be Lashley's turn, and Brock Lesnar just opens the pod and then comes in. Shouldn't be he disqualified for it? No.
I mean, because the match is no DQ. But see, that's bad booking. That's just, it's so stupid because they want people to pop. Because, see, they think that we're stupid and we don't care about these other four guys. They think we're just going to pop for Brock Lesnar. Like if Brock Lesnar suplexes your mom, you're just going to pop just because it's Brock Lesnar. No, fuck that. So he comes
in. Taking out Rollins.
Yeah, Rollins done.
AJ done,
Riddle done, and I thought, okay, Riddle, because Riddle had a stare down with Lesnar.
Yes.
He thought, okay, motherfucker, let's go. And it was Lashley's pod, so Riddle sells it like an idiot. Lesnar comes out, he's done. And, then I thought, okay, Lesnar and AJ, they had that great match at Survivor Series a couple years ago. Maybe they'll go at it for a little bit. No, German suplex, F5 done. And then you thought Theory, okay, well, this is Vince's boy, so of course they're going to go a while. So they did. Theory low blows him. That's Lesnar's only weakness, according to Seth Rollins and everybody else. So they kick him in the nuts. And I think Roman did too. I think he might have mule kicked him in the nuts or something. But eventually, a giant F5 off the top of the thing. I mean, if Theory's legs or knees aren't blown out after this, I don't know how. He chucked him from the top. And, Lesnar goes down, pins him, holds up the belt, and then eventually fixes his junk. I don't know. Did you see that on camera?
Yeah. He was shaking a little bit.
Yeah, he's like shaking his nuts loose, and then he jumps in the crowd with the people of Saudi Arabia. They're going crazy. That's all this was. And that's all this was. This was just Vince's big, orgasm here. All because Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, title versus title.
Only for this.
And to me, I mean, Roman walks away. There's no way that this is who you make Roman lose to? Because then who does Lesnar lose to? Roman again?
Oh yeah, no, and then like you said, if they bring Stone Cold, if they bring The Rock, but like to me, if Roman wins it like that, I'm done. And again, it's then all the hatred. Remember, going back in the archives, I need to see somebody different because 3 years, 3 consecutive WrestleManias.
Tell me this. Fantasy booking.
Cody Rhodes. No.
Lashley comes out.
Yeah.
This is absolute bullshit. This is like Benoit. This is Triple H and Shawn Michaels. Get away, little boy. The men are feuding here. No. Yeah. Screw you. He comes in this match, makes it a triple threat.
And then Lashley wins it.
And Lashley, could you imagine? That would be badass.
That would be great. And a lot of people are saying that. The reason why they protected Bobby Lashley is because he's going to join into it, and then it's going to become a triple threat match. And then they are going to unify the title, and maybe Lashley will be the first.
Let Lashley do it.
Yeah,
kind of do the big thing, the spear, boom, the spear. Oh, then Lashley picks him up, pins him, whatever, and then you can even have Lashley drop one of the belts in 2 weeks after he wins both of them.
Yeah, exactly. Like you said, like they did with Becky Lynch. Remember, like she dropped the one title in the WrestleMania Backlash.
Yeah, she dropped SmackDown right away, but then she held the Raw title for over a year.
Yeah, but exactly, because that way you give him, you give other people like the chance to fight for the title. So I feel that would be a great idea. So that was Elimination
Chamber, folks.
Yeah, that was Elimination Chamber, and it goes in the books, folks. So thank you so very much to every single one of you. And I'm sorry. And, just don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, help us out to keep growing. Let us know what you guys feel about this Elimination Chamber. Why every single pay-per-view as of now has to be all involving Brock Lesnar. It's not that I hate. He's enjoying his character. I think we're enjoying this new version of Brock Lesnar. But when it comes to the fighting and everything, it's like F5 and done. F5 and done. Is like, does he have super stamina or something? And in the game, Roman Reigns happens to be just a little better than him.
Yeah, and closing thoughts here before I, plug the social media and we get out of here is just remember the last one when we saw the Chamber in person?
Yes.
And another MMA person came out, Shayna Baszler, and she just killed we thought it was going to be interesting matchups, and she just killed everybody. This is the same thing with Lesnar. To me, that's not interesting.
No.
If you would have saw all 4 of these guys hit Lesnar with move after move after move, and maybe Lesnar kicked out, or maybe they pinned him, or it was something, that's exciting. This was flat. This was
absolutely
lame,
and if you want an example of that, is like, remember in the Chamber when they eliminated John Cena. That's what they did. All the wrestlers hit their finisher on him, and that's why they pinned him. They tried to do that with Braun Strowman years ago. All of them did, and he kicked out, but at least there were reasons to why you wanted to beat the guy. Not here, then F5 and done.
Yep.
Absolutely. So let us know the social media so we can get out of here.
Yeah, so guys, so you don't miss anything, follow us on all of our social media. Rope Break on Facebook, OG Rope Break on Twitter, Original Rope Break on Instagram, Twitch, and TikTok, and of course right here on YouTube, the home of the #1 podcast in the YouTube wrestling community, the Original Rope Break.
And you and me have one more thing that is left to say, and that is